and Studs! Beach party goers, have I got a fantastic build for you that, well, I created myself. I know, who would have thought that Spruce and Studs has a little creativity in him to magically create his own little scene, right? So the whole premise for this build was because I was doing a little bit of cleaning up and renovation of my man cave, or otherwise known as my studio. You may have noticed I am beginning to show my face a little more because I actually have a studio in my basement that I can now feel more confident in showing off. I used to have a couple of dart frog tanks behind where I now film. The dart frogs really don't like it when I clean the glass of their terrariums, so I left them covered with algae and moss. Unfortunately, algae and moss do not look very good on videos. Well, maybe horror videos, but this is certainly not a horror video, so I decided to move them out and place my favorite Technic-Car Legos behind me. I had a bunch of Legos tucked away in a hiding place that I completely forgot about and rediscovered as I was renovating my studio. This was the equivalent of finding treasure, or let's just say a $10 bill that you stuffed in your jeans pocket and completely forgot about and then randomly found when you dug your hands in your pocket. The set I'm putting back together was one of those Lego sets that I completely forgot about over time, and I was super excited to rediscover my beach scene set. When I was living in a smaller place, I did not have a lot of room for Legos. I would build new Lego sets and subsequently had to tear them down, which really bothered me because I don't like to tear down any of my Lego sets. This was the main reason why my beloved beach scene was taken down. Then when I moved to my smaller place into a larger place, as I said to you before, I tucked a lot of my Lego sets away and, well, unfortunately, forgot about them over time. So what was the premise of me to create my own scene many years ago? Well, I've always loved the beach and wanted to live a beach lifestyle. Sadly, where I'm living right now, there are no beaches in sight and it's cold as hell. And at least 60% of the year it is, well, literally freezing, which is not ideal for my beach dream and fantasy. So what better way to escape the cold than to keep my mind occupied and build a scene that I love and would like to immerse myself in, right? If you hadn't noticed, the two main sets that predominate this beach scene was a Lego Creator beach house, and the second one was a Lego Friends set that I believe was called the Heart Lake Pool. The beach house was fine the way it was looking, however, the pool looked a little bit too pastel-y and fluffy, so I had to tone down the colors in a lot of the pieces to a more neutral tone to reflect a real-life beach scene. I wish that I could have found a slide that was a little less magenta, however, that was the only color that the slide came in back in the day, so, well, I had to make do with what I had. Plus, magenta is a cool color for a slide. So I let it go. Then the idea came to my brain that just a regular blue base plate would just be too dull looking, so I wanted to add some extra dimension and spice to the scene. So to reflect the different colored depths of the ocean, I chose to put clear studs towards the beach and then light blue translation studs that would represent the midwater and then dark translucent blue studs that would represent the deep water. After the water was done, I thought to myself, what beach would, well, be barren and boring in real life? So I came to the idea to put lounge chairs, umbrellas, sandcastles, and beach pails. Then I decided to throw some crabs as well as some shells too in for some good measure. Finally, you cannot call a party, well, a party, right, without people. So I then decided to populate this beach party with some random, but yet not so random minifigures. All parties need a DJ, a cook, who in this scene looks a little bit like a butcher, and a waiter, right? Then you obviously need guests, so I decided to add a captain, a sailor, a movie girl, cheerleaders, a surfer dude and dudette, and much more as you can see in the video. Then I figured to put some wacky minifigures into the scene because, you know, at every single party you're going to have some eccentric people, hence the placement of the tiki guy, as well as the chicken suit guy. Of course, as the host of the party, I had to have an avatar at the party, so there you see me sporting a snazzy Hawaiian shirt sitting on the balcony of my beach house and sipping on a cocktail out of the mug while I watch my guests tear the place up. As a keen adult fan of Lego, you will notice that there are a bunch of old school Lego minifigure series in my beach scene. So to those keen-eyed individuals, you are 100% right. This goes to show you how old this scene is because I have minifigures from series 1, 2, 6, 7, and a bunch of other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. I am so glad that I rebuilt this scene that I created. Every now and again, I imagine myself sitting on that beach house balcony in real life. Doing so takes me away from the cold winter that I am currently experiencing, but most importantly, this set gives me hope that one day, I will actually be able to live this set for real. In the comments section, let me know what you guys think of this build, okay? This is Bruce and Studs, and I hope you enjoyed this build, and I will see you all in the next one.